If you missed day one, then go back and watch how this journey began, because day two takes it to an entirely new level. We woke up on the edge of the flooded North Fork River and decided to cross it. What came next was down trees, washed out trails, and river after river standing in our way. But the Ozark Overland Adventures weren't slowing down. We were gaining ground, picking up new Jeeps, and chasing the trail deep into the wild. This adventure is just getting started. Good morning. It's day two on the Ozark Overlanding Adventure Trail. It is cold this morning. It's about 6:45 a.m. and they said it was about 34 degrees, but it feels like it's 32. It is so cold outside. But in here, in my tent, it's very warm. I know a lot of people like to sleep in their 0-degree bags or their 20-degree sleeping bags, but I actually put my full duvets from home. Once I get locked into my little cocoon here, it's like a hot box. Not that kind of hot box, but it is so warm under these covers that I don't even want to get out. But I want to show you guys the view that I have from this beautiful campsite. First of all, look how dark it is in this place. It is like so dark. And then you look at this to the most beautiful. So our plans today, we're going to just kind of make our coffee, break camp, and we're going to meet Stuart, which is another one of our friends, members. He actually had to run to hot springs for some attention, and he's going to meet us just about right outside of Russellville, I believe, and continue on with us through day two. Man, I cannot get over how beautiful this place is. The water is just electrifying blue. I've never seen anything quite that color before. Let's go ahead and make some coffee, break camp, and just wait for everyone else to get ready. Yeah, this is gonna be great. Love oatmeal. This is day two of our adventure on the Ozark Overland Adventure Trail. We started yesterday at the southern part, right outside of Hector, and came up the southern half of the Ozark Overland Adventure Trail. Now, you're going to want to go back and watch that video. That's technically day 5 on all the other videos. It's our day 1, but we drove it backwards and it was exceptionally difficult. Partly because we're in April right now, and this is the most difficult time of the year for us as far as weather conditions and rains and flooding for the Ozarks. And some of those obstacles that I faced yesterday on day 1 was not shown on a lot of those videos. So you're going to want to go back and watch that video. You can click this link right here to watch day 1. This is day 2. Yesterday at the tail end of day 1, we arrived here at North Fork Illinois Bayou bypass right here. So water crossing, you can see, you cross right here, you land on this little island, and then drive across. Well, as I said, because of a lot of the water conditions and weather conditions, there's a lot of flooding, and this river is up probably by 6 inches to 9 inches right now. So not only does that mean that it's deeper, but it is moving fast, really fast. Looks like Miles wants to give it a go and see if he can make it across the North Fork. Here he goes. He made it across. The North Fork is high and it's fast, but it's doable. So here we go.
A poor boy from the backwoods, thought I never would find my way. girl, straight from downtown, where I was just another face. They said that we should steer clear of each other. Matches and gasoline, nothing but trouble. Said we'd never make it, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, we're just getting started. For the border, somewhere no one knows our names. But I know when I hold you, I'ma love you till the grave. Oh, we're just getting started.
Having to do a little trail cleanup. The storm that came through the last couple of days has just demolished this area. We were able to make it across the North Fork Illinois Bayou. Water was deep and it was flowing fast, but we made it anyway. We're kind of cutting through a little roundabout to get back onto the OOAT, and we're headed down day 2 of the Ozark Overland Adventure Trail.
We're just getting started. Oh, we're just getting started.
One thing's for sure, it's turning into an adventure. Here we go. Okay, so the North Fork River has 2 crossings on it. We camped at the first one last night. I really don't think it was passable last night. This morning we were able to pass it, but as we came through, there was another crossing on the North Fork. It kind of cuts around, and it was deep. It was probably the deepest water that I've probably been in the Road Rash Jeep, but that was super, super cool. I think I do recall them saying that that was probably the deepest river crossing, at least on day 5. I don't know about the Buffalo River,
but that's the deepest river crossing we're probably gonna have to face today. Yeah, once you inch down in there and you kind of feel out some of these mud puddles, you can tell pretty quickly whether or not you're gonna sink or if you're gonna make it. And that mud hole, I was definitely sinking. So there was a little cut around, and it was just not just as bad, but it was pretty bad itself. Oh, we got another water crossing. Interesting. Trails are really tight. I don't know if there's any full-size vehicles that could make it through here without damaging anything, but they're super tight. All right, since we're the first one here after the storm, we are also playing cleanup. There's lots of trees down, and we're having to clear it out and move them.
Come grab the thorn bush. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's one of the ones. Right there.
Move the tree out of the way, and we are headed back on the trail. Here we go. When all else fails, just hop out and stick it. That's pretty hard right there. That's pretty hard. Hard. That's kind of soft there. Let's just try this other one over here just to see. Bypass looks a little solid on the bottom, but there's just a slight drop off here. You just gotta go slow. Crossing here. I don't know which way to go in here. Here goes nothing.
We got some water on the inside of the Jeep. Oh, it's probably the deepest crossing we had so far. Loved it. So that was the North Fork Illinois Bayou again. Evidently we're snaking across it, and that one was deep. We actually had water, I did, coming inside the Jeep, so that one was deep. Oh, there's the power lines. Looks like the trees might be winning today. Okay, so this tree evidently came down with the storm. None of us can get underneath it here, and it's all sitting on these two limbs. So if we cut that limb, the whole tree's coming down. So I think what we did is we put the Ramblin' Rose over here. She was the only one that could actually fit underneath the branch. We're going to put a winch on it and see if we could just pull the tree that way, and maybe we can pull it out of the way. Yeah! Woo! The trees are not going to get us today. We are playing cleanup crew, clearing the trail. So this video is actually sponsored by realtruck.com. They were nice enough to send me my brand new Rugged Ridge snorkel, just so that I can install in the Jeep and make sure that the Road Rash Jeep is safe while we are crossing some of these deeper water crossings. And so I feel very safe about doing that now that we've installed this, and that looks really deep. Back out on the main forest road, and we're able to kind of pick up the pace a little bit and try to catch up with our friends that we're meeting. But this trail has become like one of my favorite. This is such an awesome adventure. So not all of the OOAT is water crossings and rock crawlers. Sometimes you get to get on this little well-maintained forest road and hightail it for a little bit and kind of relax a little bit. It's nice. All right, we should be meeting up with Stuart and Colleen right around the corner, right up here. There they are. Stu! Woo! So if you're following the Overland Adventure Trail on Gaia or on Onyx, whatever you're following, just to catch you up, today is technically our day 2, but on the actual Overland Adventure Trail, I think this is still day 5. Because of the storms and because the water levels were so high and the trees were down, we've lost a lot of time, and we're still trying to play catch up, but we're trying to catch up and hopefully do all 5 days of the OOAT, but we've got a lot of time to catch up right now. go.
So all in all, we've got 8 Jeeps that drove up with us from Georgia to come and explore the Ozarks. We've been wanting to do this trip for years now and just never really put it on our calendar until this year. We just said, you know what, we're just going to have to make it happen. And we drove up about 4 days ago, spent a couple of days in Hot Springs, did the 2 Badge of Honor trails there. If you guys want to see that video, click this link right here. Hot Springs is a super cool off-road park in Arkansas. Time to wash the Jeep. Schoolhouse is. I think we're going to stop and maybe grab some lunch and check it out. It was on the list of things to do. Looks like we're pulling up here at the Union Schoolhouse. Let's check it out. This is the old Union Schoolhouse down in the piney forestry area. It's so beautiful to see this and just imagine what it was like in the late 1800s whenever hundreds of kids, or almost 100 or so, kids just out here playing in the yard, and there's no cars, no phones, and everybody's kind of running up from their house. But this was probably the spot that everybody kind of located or communicated in, because there's nothing else around in this area. Well, Dave, this schoolhouse was built about the same time you were.
We did new dirt for this one.
So this old Union Schoolhouse was built in the late 1800s, around 1886, and then later on it had burnt in 1928. But a lot of the locals here, they took it upon themselves to kind of rebuild the schoolhouse as best as they can back to its original look. And then now it's controlled by the local community themselves to kind of keep it up. There are some pretty skinny stairs.
Look at this.
What's the old Bible?
Yeah. Extremely old Bible.
That's cool. What a really, really cool piece of history that they have preserved here, and still allow others to come in and...
Hey, 6 piece, we got a hymnal here.
A hymnal?
Yes, sir.
Should I go get my guitar?
Are you old enough to know what a hymnal is?
I am. I grew up in a Baptist church. What an awesome, awesome place. We're gonna load back up. We're gonna try to get to our campsite within the next 3 hours, and that should put us back on track to our original overlanding plan. Here we go.
I'm going through changes. I'm turning the pages of my life. I don't know what the age is. I start sounding outrageous in your eyes. Is it the passing of the seasons? Passing of the time, looking for a reason and what you left behind, searching for the answers, pulling on the string. You just let go of everything, come see what tomorrow just might bring. No sense of direction. I was stepping on stages. I was high and contagious for your love. And the passing of the seasons, passing of the time, and looking for a reason and what you left behind. Searching for answers, pulling all the strength. Yeah, I let go of everything. Come see what tomorrow just might bring. Outside, the sound of thunder shaking. No love, that sound is my heart breaking.
1424 road, and man, this thing is actually a really fun road. It's got a lot of little rock climbs and a lot of little really kind of snaking and weaving up, so it's almost probably about a 20-degree angle up. It's a fun road, but Anthony hears a popping coming from his Jeep, so we had to pull over. We stopped, and he had broke one of the cotter pins off of this sway bar end link, so no big deal. We just zip tied it up, get it out of the way, and we'll fix it when we get back to camp. I've got some extra cotter pins, but they're buried in the bottom of the Jeep. Move, puppy. Watch out for the dog. He just wants to sit there in the road and not move. Once you come out of the piney wilderness, it's just all forest roads from there. Super easy riding, and I think we're making up some good time to get to camp. That's pretty. Stopped off this cool little waterfall here. This is not car wash falls. This is just a separate waterfall, but lined up all the Jeeps, and everybody's kind of taking pictures. It's kind of a cool little scenery thing to do right here on the way to camp. And this is beautiful. Today has been our longest driving day. We've been in the car for the longest amount of time. It's probably been 6 hours. And it's also been the day with the most asphalt. some of the water crossings at the very beginning of our. Around our day number 2 has been the water crossings this morning was phenomenal. This place is so cute. Check this out. That looks fun. So that's Byrd. It's a campground, little store, and they have a little boat launch here where you can launch boats into the water. But other than that, probably not worth stopping here. Camping is like $12 per person. So that could get quite expensive. You got a large group like we do. Anyway, we're almost to our camp and it's right down the road. So let's jump back in the road. Okay, we're about to pull into camp. I'm hoping that this is going to be, 1, big enough for all of our Jeeps, but 2, it's going to be just special enough for what we need. So we found this unbelievable campsite right here at the end of the Oort, the OOART, and it is beautiful. The view is stunning. Check this thing out. You can just climb up in your tent and just see for miles and miles and miles. But even though this is a huge campground and we've got 8 Jeeps with us, it's not very level. We're having to stack rocks. I've got mine pretty much level right here. But some of the guys are tent camping, and if you see the ground is just rocky and not so level. So we had a couple of guys that went down to, there's a campground at the end of the hill. I forget what it was called. Regions, something like that. There's a campground down there that sits right on the lake, and they went down there real quick just to see if there's a site that's big enough for all of us. There was one that I kind of mapped out that was right on the river, and they went down there to go check it out and see if it was going to be big enough and available for all of us. Okay, change of plans. I know that campsite was absolutely beautiful, but we are going to go down to the campground that's at the bottom of the hill only because we couldn't fit everybody in this campsite, and we didn't really want to break up the group. It was either going to be some of us stayed at this one and others went down to this campsite, and we just didn't want to do that. So we're going to keep the group together, and we're all going down to the campgrounds tonight. Okay, so it's definitely not a mountain type view, but I'll take it anyway. If you come right over here, you can't really see it because it's just on the top of those hills right there. But if you listen, the sound of water. That's going to be a really, really nice sound to hear while we're sleeping tonight. So I'm going to get camp set up, and then I'll show you around the road rash rig. If I'm camping by myself, I'm just going to do the minimal setup so that I could pack it up and leave early in the morning as fast as I can. If we had other people here at the camp, I would probably set it all up, put the awning out, the 270 awning, and make a fire and the tables and the chairs, but it's just me. Stuart and Colleen, they're camping over there. We've got the rest of them. You can kind of see them through the trees over there. There's David. This campsite actually has restrooms, so the girls wanted to be close to the restroom. I wanted to be close to the water because I want to be able to listen to that all night while I'm sleeping. We're gonna make some dinner and then probably go over and hang out with those guys for a little bit and then come back and crash for a little bit. Tonight's dinner stunk. That macaroni and cheese was horrible. It's definitely not like Mama's macaroni and cheese. But anyway, I put it down the best I could, got me something to drink, and now I'm just kind of in my tent, and I'm gonna watch some movies on the iPad and just enjoy the night. This is the first night on this trip that it hasn't been cold. Like, it feels fantastic. All I have is the nets up right here, the screens, and I don't even have my Mr. Buddy heater in here. I think it's gonna be awesome just to leave these open and just listen to the river. Let's put on a movie, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of the Ozark Overlanding Adventure Trail.